What Carlos Sainz said about beating Charles Leclerc. Rivalry is a big part of sports. Every great player has a great rival. But what if there is a rivalry between teammates? Well, I won't put it up as a rivalry, but more of a healthy competition. And something like this is amazing to watch. I'm talking about Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc. Carlos Sainz, as you may recall, finished 5th in the championship in 2021, ahead of his longtime partner Leclerc, and assisted them in finishing 3rd in the Constructors' Championship. However, opinions are varied as to whether he is indeed the better driver of the two. It's crucial to look at how they were compared, head-to-head, to answer this question. Carlos finished 2021 with more points than Charles, but Charles outraced and outqualified Sainz. So, if you were to guess which driver would win on any given weekend, it would have to be Charles. So how did he end up with fewer points than Carlos if this was the case? In 2021, Carlos won 4 podiums to Charles's 1, and in the races when Carlos finished on the podium, Charles only received 1 point. As a result, you could say Sainz made the most of the opportunities that came his way. He also had the longest point streak of any driver on the grid, so he made few mistakes over the course of a 22-race season. Charles himself was fairly consistent throughout the year, and the one major blunder I can remember was in Monaco, where he tragically lost a lot of points in comparison to his teammates. There's a popular belief that Charles makes a lot of blunders on Sundays and that his performance changes greatly from weekend to weekend, but this hasn't been the case. The fact that he scored as many points as he did despite all of his terrible luck is a credit to his talent and steady level of performance. So, who can we anticipate to be Ferrari's lead driver in the future, if they ever have one? We must examine 2 factors. First, how fast is the car, and how competitive is it? Is it a world champion car or a race winner? Will the running car be a midfield car, or will they even regress from where they are now? The second is the car's attributes, or how it drives. Carlos' driving style has a flaw that isn't visible in Leclerc's, and that is when the car has a certain bit of rear instability. When Carlos was at Renault, he had this problem. The vehicle was jittery in the back, and he was slower than his teammate Hülkenberg in general, so he ended up playing second fill. When Leclerc faced a similar problem at Ferrari in 2020, he destroyed Vettel. So, if Ferrari provided them with a car like that, I wouldn't expect Sainz to be anywhere near it, and he'd likely end up playing the second fiddle role he played at Renault. But if Carlos can get the rear help he needs, he'll be a match for the top drivers on the grid. We've seen it with Leclerc this year, and we can also recall his experience with Verstappen at Toro Rosso. In 2015, he pushed Max to the limit and even outqualified him. So that just goes to show that if you give Carlos a car he enjoys and is comfortable in, he can push anyone on the grid. How you work out the car and your technical understanding are 2 of the most significant parts of becoming a modern-day Formula One driver. Carlos has been very active in this area, demonstrating that he is a terrific team player and can successfully collaborate with his engineers. To examine how he took McLaren from one of the bottom 2 teams in Formula One in 2018 to the leading midfield team in 2019 and 2020. While he may not have been the lead driver at Ferrari, he has undoubtedly contributed to their recovery. The fact that he's joining Ferrari and putting himself on an equal footing with the man who dethroned Sebastian Vettel as the world's best driver speaks much about his abilities beyond the car. He is undoubtedly capable of leading Ferrari in the fight for the World Championship, given that they are in a position to do so. When you put it all together, do you think it's fair to declare Carlos the outright superior driver in 2021? I don't think so. When you look at the head-to-head, it's evident that Charles was the stronger performer from start to finish in 2021. However, because Carlos was new to the team, he would not have been accustomed to the team dynamics or the way the vehicle was handled from the start, and he even admitted at the end of the season that he was still having issues with his braking feel. He did get closer to Charles as the season progressed, and he finished the season strongly, as in Abu Dhabi's outstanding podium. I'm delighted Carlos is now receiving the credit he deserves. He pushed Max really hard when they were both rookies, and given how good Max has become, I'm shocked people overlooked Carlos for so long. When he was at McLaren, There were always some worries about his abilities because he was a rookie and thus an unknown benchmark. However, he has since joined Ferrari's Leclerc squad and demonstrated that he can compete with the best and highest-rated drivers in the paddock. If we talk about the current season, then I must say that it is going pretty well for both the drivers. Ferrari is first in the constructors' standings, Leclerc is first in the individual standings, and Sainz is fifth. They both have 104 and 53 points, respectively. We all must remember that this season has just started, and there are many more races to go. Last year, as we know, Charles lost to Sainz, and he was pretty honest about it. In an interview, he said that after the loss, the first thing he did was to analyze whether he was satisfied with his performance or not. He said, "I was satisfied with my 2021 season. Yes, I was, but there were also opportunities that I lost, sometimes by not being lucky, other times because of my just wanting too much, and I'm learning from it." He then compared his approach to that of Sainz, saying, "I think one of the big strengths of Carlos is being there, all the time, and in every race. He's always there, always there. I can sometimes be too optimistic. Last year, this happened a few times, and it cost me some points, so, in the end, I paid the price, but I learned a lesson." He then told his feelings about losing to Sainz. Of course it hurts. It hurts for every driver. I would lie if I said it didn't. As soon as you finish behind your teammate, whether it's in the championship or in one race, it always hurts. You always want to be your teammate. He concluded the whole thing by saying, "It hurts, but I go forward now that it's in the past again. As I said, it hurts at the moment, but when I look at the past season, I'm satisfied with myself." He clearly worked hard on himself, and we can clearly see the results this year. The only thing that is left for all of us to see is how well he will do in this season. For now, both the drivers are doing extremely well. This was all for today. Do let us know what your thoughts on the topic are, and who you prefer, Sainz or Leclerc. Do let us know in the comments. I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye.